Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to our latest devlog update. I haven't updated for a long time. I think it was September last year, mainly because we've had a little bit of a break between us. We've had a little bit of time off, and on top of that, we've over the last few months, at least last couple of months, we've been hammering it. So I haven't really had the time, or should I say, I have had the time, but I haven't put that as made that as a priority. We've been doing a lot of getting basic models into the game. I've been doing a lot of bug fixing, getting things working, making the UI work a little bit nicer. It's still very much in beta stage, but we're in a much better, much nicer position than we were. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through the game, and I'm going to explain the additions, or at least the additions that you can see. There's obviously lots of work that goes on in the background. So start off with, before we go anywhere, first of all, sorry for the horrible sounds, but we've got a new game menu. This is just the basic developer textures. Obviously we're working on a nice looking UI to go on top of this, or to replace this with, rather. I've got things like you can now rebind your controls. I'm using a plugin, a Unity asset called C Input for it. It was a bit of a faff to get working, but it now works quite nicely. Double click, press escape to clear, for example, and press W to bind a key, etc, etc. We've got a few game settings in the game. You can turn your crosshair on and off. You can enable or disable mouse acceleration, and you can set your sensitivity. There's also a field of view slider, which a lot of people will be very happy about. So let's just change that to 90, for example. There you go, it changes to 90 degrees. Now, there isn't an example of this everywhere, but we've basically been cleaning up the meshes. As you can see here, for example, we've got a nice beveled door now. There's actually a door in here, that door there, in fact, you can see. And there's a collider there that's stopping me from going through. I've actually just played around with some static flags and some batching settings, so I think there's probably going to be a few little issues like that in here. I'll tell you what, before we go any further, to stop that from happening, just give me a second. I will disable culling, because that's the problem. I'll just clear the culling data, because we're just going to run into loads of problems like that. So yeah, I haven't went through and balanced the audio yet. I haven't went through and we haven't got the final textures in there, final materials, etc. There's still a lot of work to do, but we're getting to a point where we're starting to see a game. So yeah, here we go. We've got the data pad for the game. That's going to be, like your standard device that you pick up and you can read information about the game, background information. I haven't got it working yet, but we've now got the model in the game. As I said, we've got doors in the game now. This one actually opens and closes, but it's still not there. So I think I've messed up a collider there. The hacking interface. It isn't much different from last time you saw it. I have done a fair bit of work on it though. You can now actually hack devices, and as you can see here, we've got a configure rules. That's been there for a while, but we've now actually got an interface for it. So all this allows you to do is to say, right, this terminal is configured to send a turn off command to another terminal in 2.5 seconds. So you can edit or disable that. At the moment you can't edit them, but you can disable them. This is using the Unity GUI, which is much nicer than the old on-GUI stuff in Unity. So if you haven't tried it out, definitely get on it. It's much nicer. So we can still, as you can see, there will be a consequence to hacking failing. Haven't quite decided what that's going to be yet. I think I've shown you the view lens thing on cameras, but we now have a camera lens for every single camera in the game. And I've also set up the probability. I've set the probability calculation so they actually work now and calculate an actual probability based on your hacking skill. You may have noticed then as well, if we go to maybe this terminal here, if you look on the left hand side over here, we also have a little game message that pops up and says 2 XP gained in hacking. There's a lot of XP you can get in different things, but for now just the hacking stuff in there. We've got a few scripts for things. that are broken, as you can see there. Some of them. You can throw things around. I've got a new keypad in the game, and we can hack the keypads. And we have to. This may take a while. See, there's still little bugs with everything, but we're getting there. Right, so we now have a door that opens. I haven't actually tried opening that door with the new hinge on, but it opens in the right direction. That's all good. The cameras are currently broken. They will detect me no matter where they are. So if you see, as I come out here, that one I just turned off, but that one over there is going to detect me no matter where I am, unfortunately. As you can see, we've now got all of the textures on the walls here. The lighting isn't done yet. I've just placed a few lights to play around with the specular and the normal maps just to see how they look. As you can see here as well, we've got new keypads in here. We've got colliders on these plants, new plants in the game, thanks to Eric. And if you hide behind the plant, it's a bit funny at the moment. I will tweak them slightly, but essentially the idea is I can actually look around, see the camera, make a decision as to how I'm going to get to the next place. So I might just want to run, I want to crawl. It depends on what's going on. We've got another problem here, in that this should be closed. I think at the moment my prefab is set so they're all open, but we've got a new vent in the vent cover in the game. That is, it's kind of a transparent beams. I can show you that in game view. For some reason that isn't rotating, but it should be. As you can see, I haven't done much preparation for this. We've got a vent sound for crawling in vents, but again we need to sort the timing out and sort the motion on the camera out a little bit. I have to figure why that's not making, why that's not rotating. It was a minute ago. So the basically what we see here is the start of the demo area. As we come into here and we hack the elevator, see, that camera's going to kick off all the time. So we still haven't sorted the middle of the elevator issue. Now the reason that the second time, when we get to the second node here, this is a security rating of 2, even though the elevator's only got a security rating of 1, is because of the Dirkster's algorithm that I've applied. So 1 + 1 is 2, so that's why we've now got a security rating of 2 on this, and that's why the hack percentage is much lower, because it's below 1. I'm going to get out of this camera's view so it stops making a noise while this elevator comes up. There's lots of little issues with the game. That's how it stands at the moment. Seeing me inside here. See, we've got lines that actually work now as well. The lines render in the right positions. So let's send it to floor 5. I'm also working on some of the cool elevator stuff at the moment. As you can see, we haven't modelled the elevator yet, but that is on the list and we're getting to it soon. I'm actually seeing a few issues in the console as well, errors, etc., but I'll sort them out. Alright, so as you can see, we've also got a basic kind of model for this area. These doors here without the transparent glass ones you can't go through. We've got another little room here, and we've got some vents and different ways to get in and out of the rooms. I haven't really put any detail into this floor yet. There's another way in there, and then we've got a bigger door entering into a server room, which is going to be a little bit more elaborate than you can see it at the moment, but we are where we are. I'm going to turn off my adrenaline because I'm not playing the game as it should be played. I'm just running you through it. So we're now going up a fire escape and out into the world now. As you can see, we've got some buildings. We've got some basic. Oh God, what's going on with the camera there? That could be the FOV on the camera. I maybe need to change it on there. That's crazy. I've got a distance camera that renders the skybox, and I haven't changed the FOV on that, but I have changed it on my camera, so I assume that's why that's doing that. There's a nice little room flying off into the distance there, which I will delete soon. But yeah, as you can see, we've got a few different buildings. There's 3 over there. You can see 1, 2, and 3. That's a copy of that one over there. And there's another building over there. Now this, I don't know if I've actually shown this, but this is the rooftop chase scene in the game. As you can see, there's lots of lighting issues as well. But we can also go over here and see a bit of Burton's work. He's working on the overall kind of ground and road area of the game. Again, very basic textures on there. We're still developing it, but we're getting there. And there's other buildings in there. We're slowly replacing. At the moment, we're in the process of slowly replacing all of these buildings and getting them in the game. So we're currently in the process as well of sorting out concept art for this particular area of the game. I'm just going to take you to the end, and I think it's through here. So it's going to be a lot more elaborate and interesting as we get to it. And these are just going to be different offices, different office rooms that you... this is like a chase scene, so there'll be enemies all over the place, and maybe not in this area because you're kind of crouched in a ceiling area. Kind of changing the pace a little bit. But by the time we get out here, we'll probably have enemies again running around. Come on, Chris. Oh, I put better colliders on that. Again, as you can see, the lighting isn't brilliant around here. We've actually got this scaffolding. We've got a model for this, but we're in the process of finishing it off, so it's not in the best of conditions at the moment. We're nearly there with it, though. We're going to be able to get it in the game soon. Hopefully I'll be able to fall off here. Yeah, there we go. You can see as well we've got a very basic HUD going on. We've got health, adrenaline on the bottom. Again, in the process of working on a much more elaborate, nicer looking HUD. But things are coming together, as you can see. And this isn't, again, a final grass texture, but it's just something we threw on to kind of... It's not even going to be grass, this area, I imagine, but, you know, we're kind of working bit by bit at the moment. And that's basically about it. Now, the only other thing I can show you... The only other thing I can show you, really, is if I just come out of the world and just come up a little bit and get it so the draw distance is right. I'm going to have to increase the draw distance as well. But you can see all of the other buildings that we're throwing into the game. Hopefully we will be able to get this to a nice state where it doesn't look like there's lots of duplication. We've got at least another few buildings coming that we're throwing in. But yeah, this whole area isn't going to be in the demo. Or rather, the whole area is not going to be playable in the demo. The same goes for basically the rest of this area here, and you know, all of this stuff isn't going to be accessible. But there are still going to be plenty of routes to get to where you want to get to. All of the elevator shafts, both of them, are going to be done up and looking nice. There's going to be quite a few secrets that you can discover. Lots of network devices you can hack. The hacking's still got a way to go yet before it's nice and playable. But we are getting to a point where it's a lot more like a game now. So we're back to the beginning here. But apart from that, I said we're in the process of kind of doing like the big picture stuff. We're not worrying too much about the fidelity of the game at the moment. You know, we're not worrying about post-processing effects and anti-aliasing and, you know, all the other stuff that's not necessarily, you know, needed for a demo. But we're trying to get at least a playable section of the game all together with enemies in it, with everything else. I have done a bit of work on the AI as well, but that's in another scene. And yeah, so that's where we're up to. Thanks for watching, and if you're interested in the game and you haven't seen us before, follow us on YouTube /19 Ninjas Dev, or 19 Stone Ninjas Dev, I think. Our website is www.19stoneninjas.com, and you can follow us on Twitter at 19 ninjas, and we'll see you later. Thanks a lot.